Hey friends, if you are looking for some holiday appetizers that are sure to please everyone, you're in for a treat today. I'm going to be sharing 3 easy holiday appetizers with you, and make sure you stay until the end because I'm going to share a twist on a classic that's going to make it about 100 times better. So I'm just going to add in a couple tablespoons of diced onion. I am halving this recipe just for us because we're only going to be using 1 small pack of the little smoked sausages today, just for our family. But of course, I'll have the recipe, the full recipe down below if you want to make the whole thing, if you're doing it for like a gathering. So I just have my couple tablespoons of onion in my pan here, and I'm just going to saute that just until they're a little bit soft and have a little bit of color on them. And you can add a tiny bit of butter or oil to this if you need to, but with this pan I'm using, I don't have to add any oil at all, just my onions in my pan. All right, my onions are done sauteing. We're gonna work on the sauce. First, I'm just gonna add right to the pan about 3/4 a cup of barbecue sauce. I'm also adding about 1/4 cup of ketchup, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, just a few little dashes. Before we move on, I want to take a quick second and thank our sponsor for today, which is Our Place. Since cooking for my family is kind of how I like to show my love to them, that Our Place values that connection made over a home-cooked meal. I recently got this pan called the Always Pan. It even matches my shirt. I didn't even plan that. But this pan has easily become my most favorite piece of cookware in my kitchen. Matter of fact, ever since I got this pan, it has not been put away just because of how pretty it is. We've just left it sitting back here on my stovetop, and even Darren, my husband, noticed and commented on how nice it looked just sitting back there. So mine is in the blue salt color, which is absolutely gorgeous, but they offer a pretty big variety of different colors to match any style kitchen. The Always Pan actually replaces 8 pieces of cookware in your kitchen, which makes it the most multifunctional pan in the world. It is extremely lightweight, which makes going from all of those different functions super easy. You can go from, say, boiling your pasta to draining your pasta over to the sink and back to the stovetop super easily because it's so lightweight. Here is the little removable kind of steamer basket or strainer, and it has this silky smooth ceramic coating in there, which makes cooking things so easy. You can use less oil, and it makes cleaning this up super easy as well. All you need is a tiny bit of soap, some warm water, rinse it out, and you are good. I also just received this gorgeous oven pan. This thing is also multifunctional. The edges on it are super high, so you can go from all of your holiday roasting, holiday baking, right onto your stovetop to use as a griddle. I love that. It's my new favorite way to make a whole bunch of grilled cheeses at once on a busy weeknight, or make a big old breakfast spread on the weekends. And it's so pretty you can actually serve right from your oven pan. And also, one less dish to clean is always a win. Y'all may have noticed lately that I've been slowly kind of switching out and replacing all of my casserole dishes, and y'all just look at how nice these are. What I really love about them is the size, especially for our family of 4. Sometimes I don't need a whole 9x13 to bake in, and I just love this little set. You can actually get this set along with the oven pan and an oven mat all together, which is so perfect. They all nestle together right in that oven pan for easy storage. And right now, Our Place is offering their biggest sale of the year. So if you've been seeing all this stuff all over social media and you've been thinking about it, now is the time to try, because they're offering up to 30% off site-wide, excluding gift cards, and they have so many great kitchen products to choose from. So I'm gonna have their website and all of the info down below in the description box. Make sure you go and check that out, see what you can find for 30% off, and mark a couple people off your Christmas list before that deal ends. And then here is where the bourbon comes in, about 1.5 tablespoons of bourbon. And I'm gonna go kind of light with that. I do not like bourbon, y'all. And give that a stir and let this just kind of simmer for a couple minutes. But yes, I do not like bourbon at all. That is Darren's thing. But in here, it just adds a little something to the sauce. You really can't tell what it is. You definitely can't tell it's bourbon. It is really good, and this is just a different little take on this recipe that everybody seems to have their own twist to. If you make these little barbecue cocktail weenies, let us know down below. What's your recipe? How do you make them? Alright, well that sauce is kind of simmering. We're going to open up our little smokies and we're going to get those into this sauce. Alright, we got our little weenies in there. I'm going to stir them to combine everything. Get some of that yummy sauce all over it. And you can see one package does make a good bit, but if I was going to like a family, our little family Christmas party, I would go ahead and make the full recipe with 2 packs. I'm just gonna leave this on about medium heat, let it come back up to a simmer, and it's just gonna simmer for about 20 minutes. And these are done, could not get any easier. And by the way, I want y'all to look at how non-stick this pan is. Y'all saw all the sugary barbecue sauce and brown sugar we put in there, and you can already tell that sauce is not gonna stick to this pan whatsoever. It makes for super easy cleanup, and that's just what I need around the holidays. Alright, my weenies have been simmering over here for about 20 minutes. I just got them on low. They are pretty much done. So I'm going to get these transferred, but I cannot wait to eat one. This makes your house just smell like the holidays. Yum. These are so good, y'all. You cannot taste that bourbon in there at all. Get a little hint of that onion. They just taste sweet and smoky. If you take these to your gathering this year, people are going to gobble these up in no time. Alright, so to start this dip, I have about 1.5 blocks of cream cheese here. You can leave it out to soften up. I'm just going to soften mine in the microwave and I'll be right back. Alright, we're going to add in that cream cheese, nice and soft. The recipe I'm going by, I'm kind of changing it up just a little bit. I will have the original recipe posted down below. It called for a whole tablespoon of chili powder. I'm just going with about 1/2 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin. We're gonna do a sprinkle of garlic powder, a pinch of salt, and then I have a can of red enchilada sauce here. I'm just gonna open this up and we're gonna add about 1 cup into our dip. So next, I'm just gonna give this a really good mix with my hand mixer. But while I'm doing that, I wanted to give a little shout out to Paul. He sent me this recipe over on Instagram. He said that he made it for his family, and when they tried it, they thought of us. And that just makes me so happy. Anytime y'all run across a recipe and it makes you think of us, or just one of your recipes that you think we might like, I would love for y'all to send that to us. So thank you so much, Paul, for sending this. We love these type of kind of Southwest flavors, and a good old dip and some chips. That's my love language. So thank you so much for sending that to me. Next, I'm just adding in 1 can of mild Rotel that I did drain. We're also gonna drain 1 can of black beans and add that in, and also 1 can of the Southwestern blend corn. It just has poblano and red peppers in there. Next, we're gonna add in about 1.5 cups of shredded cooked chicken. I'm actually just using some canned chicken for this, but feel free to use whatever kind of cooked chicken you want. If you have some left over, I feel like I always say this, or rotisserie chicken, that will work perfectly in here. But I just feel like canned chicken works especially well for dips. The texture of it and how it just kind of chops up with everything, I just really like it with buffalo chicken dip, enchilada chicken dip, any kind of chicken dip. Next, I'm sprinkling in about 3/4 cup of sharp cheddar cheese. I'm also sprinkling in about 3/4 cup of pepper jack cheese as well. All right, now let's get everything combined. And I don't think this dish is gonna be very spicy because we did use that mild Rotel. So that's definitely the key. If you don't like too much spice, definitely make sure you get the mild version of Rotel. The regular original version does have a little bit of spice to it. And of course, if you don't want anything, you can add less chili powder and then use a different type of cheese. You could use all cheddar or anything like that instead of the pepper jack. But I think this is gonna be really good. All right, I got that all mixed up. Let me go grab my baking dish. All right, I have my baking dish. I love it. This is the perfect size for things like this, for little dips. So let's get it transferred in here. And this is so pretty too. I love all these little colors in here, especially for the holidays. This, I think, is gonna be a really good one. Next, we're just gonna go back on top with some more of that cheese, and then a little more cheddar. All right, and that is it. I already have my oven preheated to 350. This is going in there for about 20 minutes until our dip is nice and hot and that cheese is bubbly. All right, here is that chicken enchilada dip out of the oven. I wish y'all could smell this. It smells so good. It's nice and bubbly, piping hot. It already looks so pretty. Let's dig in there and see what it looks like. And of course, let's taste it. All right, let's give it a try. That is really good. It tastes like taco soup because that's all those ingredients in a dip. A little bit of sweetness from the corn. It's really good with that chicken in there. Super creamy, super cheesy. Spice factor, I'm really not getting much at all. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say 1 or 2. That is really good. So thank you, Paul, for sending me that recipe. So first, like any sausage ball, I just have 1 pound of regular breakfast sausage. We're gonna get that into a large bowl. Next, we're adding in half a block of softened cream cheese. Now for the first little secret ingredient, are y'all ready? Pimento cheese. My mama has been making pimento cheese sausage balls the last few years for Christmas, and we cannot get enough of them. We love them. So basically, you know how any sausage ball, you use shredded cheese, bisquick, and sausage. That's pretty much it. Sometimes they can be kind of dry and kind of dense, but not the way I'm gonna show y'all today. So basically we're using this instead of shredded cheese. We're gonna add in this whole thing. This is an 11-ounce carton, and if you're not gonna make homemade, I've told y'all this before, the Pimento cheese is really, really close to homemade. So we're just gonna add all of that in. Back to what I just said, the other traditional ingredient in sausage balls is bisquick. Guess what we're gonna use today? Pancake mix. You have to trust me on this. It's gonna be so good. They're not gonna be overly sweet. If you think about it, pancake mix and sausage goes together well anyways, but these are gonna be savory. So I have about 1.5 cups of pancake mix. We're gonna pour that right on in. This is usually the part where I get out my mixer or call Darren in for backup to mix up these sausage balls. But I am gonna go ahead and get it started with just my little utensil here. I'll probably have to resort to these. Y'all know that's the best way to mix up your sausage balls. And these are just as easy as regular sausage balls. That was only, what, 4 ingredients? But I'm telling y'all, they are 10 times better than just shredded cheese sausage balls. Y'all try them out and tell me what y'all think. Tell me if y'all think they're better. I think since my mom started making them with the pimento cheese, we really have not went back. All right, time to get in there. And by the way, if you don't want to use pancake mix, if you do want to use bisquick, that will work too. Matter of fact, the way I learned that pancake mix is delicious, one day I didn't have bisquick and I really wanted these sausage balls. So I used it and we loved it. It's delicious because you can serve it at your holiday parties or you can serve it for your holiday, you know, brunch or breakfast. It works perfectly for both things. And these definitely are not gonna be dry or dense. You can see, nice and moist. Let me go grab my baking pan and we'll get these rolled out. All right, I have my little oven pan with my oven mat. This works just like parchment paper would. And I like to use a 1-inch scoop just to kind of make sure they're all, you know, the same size and I stay consistent with it. So I'm gonna scoop some out, but then I scoop it into my hand. Just kind of roll it to get that smooth little ball, little sphere I'm looking for. And that's it. I'm gonna continue doing this and get them onto my pan and they'll be ready for the oven. I was just thinking pimento cheese, all it really is cream cheese, shredded cheese, pimentos, maybe a little bit of mayonnaise. So if you really don't want to use pimento cheese, you could add a little bit more cream cheese and some mayonnaise to your sausage balls, and that would also help them be a little bit more moist and tender. All right, I'm gonna go wash my hands, and this is going to the oven at 400 for about 20 minutes. I always just cut one open to make sure the inside's done, but 20 to 25 minutes should do the trick. All right, y'all, you can see they are nice and crispy on those edges, and on top, I'm gonna break one open and show you just how delicious that inside is. As for the sweetness in these, it's just a very tiny hint. I think it works perfectly with that pimento cheese and that sausage. It just goes so well together.
That was really good.
If you're loving these easy holiday appetizers, I would love it if you would hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. It helps me out so very much. I also have another video right here on the screen that if you love easy recipes and something good, you're gonna love this next video. I hope you guys are all doing great, and I will see you next time in my next one. Bye, y'all.